Welcome to the exciting and new podcast. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
I'm Dana.
And I'm Dan.
Let's welcome Dan. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing great, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. This week we're talking about Splash, rated PG, an hour and 51 minutes, released March 9th, 1984, directed by Opie Taylor. Ron Howard.
Oh.
Ron Howard. I'm surprised you didn't go with Richie Cunningham.
I was going to go with that one. I went further back.
Quicker. If you had just said Opie and left it there, but I was like, Taylor.
Yeah, I know his last name. Sorry.
It's okay.
Was this the first thing he directed? No,
he did Night Shift.
He did Night Shift.
He did Night Shift, and he did some car movie. And
It was
his first movie, but no.
Roger Corman movie.
Yeah.
I think it was called Drive.
No, it was
No, that's the Spielberg one, Drive. I forget. It is a car movie, though.
But we did Night Shift already.
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah, that was 82. But his top four was Arrested Development, A Beautiful Mind, The Shootist.
The Shootist?
Yeah, that's a John Wayne movie, I believe, that he was in.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was in it
he's
as an
in
actor.
it, okay.
Yeah, and Apollo 13. Maybe you heard of that one.
That's his top four, is The Shootist.
Yeah.
Is in his
no
top
Happy
four.
Days.
That's
Yeah.
a popular movie, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It might be his last movie. I'm not sure. Might be John Wayne's last movie.
Oh.
Maybe.
I was like, Ron.
I'm not
it's
100%
Ron
on that, but if
Howard's
I am
movie.
correct on that, it's a nice pool.
It is. And no one will ever know.
I'll look it up after this, but if I'm right, I'll brag about it. If I'm
Yeah,
incorrect,
if you're
you'll
wrong,
never
I'll
hear it.
never hear from you.
IMDb description. Alan Bauer is rescued from drowning as a young boy off Cape Cod by a young mermaid. Years later, he returns to the same location and once again manages to fall into the sea and is rescued once more by the mermaid. Alan isn't sure what he has seen and what he has imagined. Using maps from a sunken ship, the mermaid decides to search for Alan in New York City, sprouting legs when her tail dries. On finding Alan, they fall in love, but she has a secret, which will no longer be a secret if she gets her legs wet.
that's correct.
Yep.
I needed more explanation about the mermaid physiology or biology or whatever it was, because that seemed weird. But I guess it was in Little Mermaid too, right? That she went on land and got legs.
Well, no, she made a deal with the evil person, and
she made a
it was
deal,
a
okay.
spell. Yeah.
So just thought it was weird. You get
I thought it was weird that she learned English that quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I learned English that quick. I'm still learning after all these years.
I got a couple taglines here. 2 days ago, this girl showed up naked at the Statue of Liberty. For Alan Bauer, it was love at first sight. Now everyone is chasing her, trying to prove she's a mermaid. From the first laugh, you will be hooked. That's too many.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's
too
a
many.
long tagline.
Yeah, too many.
That's
Too many.
weird.
And everybody wasn't chasing her, just Eugene.
Yeah.
Alan Bauer thought he would never find the right woman. He was only half wrong. She was the woman of his dreams. She had large, dark eyes, a beautiful smile, and a great pair of fins.
She only had one.
One fin, right? Yeah.
All right, we're going to get into the cast now, Andy. Your favorite part, Tom
I love the
Hanks.
cast.
This is our first Tom Hanks movie, right? Because we didn't do
so.
I
Bachelor
think
Party
it's
yet.
his
Oh.
first Tom Hanks. It's
Yeah.
his first
This is
movie.
like-
Bachelor Party is
after,
also this year, right?
But this
It
is
is,
after
yeah.
the
Bosom
TV show.
Buddies.
Bosom Buddies.
Yeah.
When he said, when he was giving her girl names, he's like, you could be Jessica or Jill or Hillary. I was like, was that his name from Bosom Buddies?
Hildegard.
Yeah, Michelle was like, it's Hildegard. I'm like,
Yeah. I remember Hildy, right? Hildegard. Yeah.
Hildy.
All right, so try Tom's top four. This will be a fun one. That was always a good one on Doug Loves Movies,
Yeah.
too.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump, let me check. That made it. Piece of shit movie that is.
I agree.
All right,
Terrible
I'll give
movie.
someone. One of you guys go.
Dan, you're the guest.
Philadelphia.
Yep.
Oh,
so his two
wow, good one.
Oscar-winning movies are in his top four. That's good.
That's good. Like, unlike some of the other top fours
Yeah.
that we see. This top four algorithm on IMDb is insane.
Is it
The
by
movies they put in the
is
top
it by
four.
grosses or just like
No,
We don't know what it is. It's weird because it's like it'll have like their Oscar-winning movie won't be in their top four, but then like
Buddies.
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot,
or if you're in
their top
multiple
four.
sequels, you're like in John Wick 3 and not John Wick 1.
One
like,
doesn't
why,
make it in there.
Like, why
Yeah.
not? How about Saving Private Ryan?
That did not make
How about the
it.
porno
How about
Saving
Toy-
Ryan's Privates?
Oh my God.
shaving French fries?
How about Toy Story?
No,
Oh, yeah, it's
Toy Story 2.
none of the Toy
None of
Story.
Oh,
Toy
the
Story.
space one, Apollo.
No.
Well, okay.
Apollo 13. That was Richie Cunningham also directed
Oh, The Burbs.
Did not
Great
make
movie.
it. Good movie though. It's on Netflix if you want to watch
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
In that 80s category, I saw.
Sully?
it.
Repo Man is too. No, that didn't make it.
How about the other one?
Castaway.
Castaway did make it.
How about
Yes.
Captain Phillips?
Did not make it.
Oh, You Got Mail?
Did not make it.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Did not
Man,
make
this
it.
dude's done a lot of movies.
Yeah, I know.
man. How about the one where he's trapped in the airport?
Terminal.
Terminal.
Okay. I was gonna say trapped in the airport. That's not it. Simpsons
This movie.
Oh, Dragnet.
Big. Splash.
Big. There it is. Big.
Big.
What year was Big?
That's like 88. Something like that. Yeah, I
really?
think.
Dragnet was a great movie too. I love that. With
Oh,
Dan Aykroyd.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I enjoyed it, calling it a great movie.
Well,
I haven't
At the
seen it
time,
since
I-
the 80s, but I loved
yeah,
it
I
then.
haven't seen it since the
We
theater.
also
so.
have whatchamacallit coming up too. Turner and Hooch.
Oh, that's where the big Tom Hanks Henry Winkler feud began. And
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, they
There's
really
a
do not like
feud
each
because
other.
of that?
They do not like
Two of
each
the
other.
nicest guys in Hollywood,
And it
and they
makes
don't
me
like each
sad
other.
because I
Henry
love both
Winkler
of them.
is a sweet, sweet man.
He's literally one of the nicest people.
Yeah. He
Why?
really
Why
is.
don't they like each other? Because of
I'll
that
never
movie?
forget
Winkler
it.
was directing it, and Tom Hanks got him fired. I don't know the story, but and
Wow,
there's-
really?
there's-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And they're carrying a grudge for all these many
Henry
years.
Winkler does not like him.
Interesting.
And Henry Winkler doesn't like to talk negative about people
No.
or anything, but he will, if you get him in the right setting, I think he'll say what he feels
A couple
about him.
beers.
yeah.
I tell you what, he gives the nicest hugs. When I met him, he was the sweetest guy. He gave me and
Yeah.
my cousin, he gave her a big hug and just he talked to us for a good couple minutes. He was really sweet.
I
Yeah.
had an autographed picture of the Happy Days cast from Henry Winkler because one of the writers of this film, which we'll discuss, Bob Lou Mandel, is married to my dad's cousin.
Oh, cool.
So,
Look at that.
Kid, 70s,
Yeah.
Happy Days. So when I had this picture, I loved it, and then it's gone. I'm still hoping I'll find it one of these days when I'm moving all my, going
That's
through
just
stuff.
the whole cast signed it too?
No, he signed it, but it was a picture of the
Okay,
cast.
all right. I would have been cool if I
Oh,
thought I had every
well,
single
You need
What am I-
Anson Williamson with Donnie Most on
Where's
there.
my Donnie Most signature? Henry Winkler.
I have a
Who cares?
Donnie Most signature. And Anson Williams too.
Well, I got it in
I got a
person.
Donnie,
He went to their
Donnie
houses
Most,
together.
Yeah,
He's like, what's going
Donnie
on,
Most
guys?
signed his album. I got him signing his album, so that's really nice. That one and
That's going to be worth something.
I think to me it is because he put Jason on it.
Jason
so
wants to be
more than
buried with
anybody
that.
else. I'll get some nice signatures next week too when I'm there. Chiller,
Shatner.
Shatner, William, Zemed, Adrian
Oh my
Zemed.
God.
Grease 2.
Grease 2 sign.
I'm
Yeah.
getting the TJ Hooker box set signed because I might get Shatner sign that too. Shatner's going to sign my Twilight Zone doll that I have with both of his figures are in there, but it's just one figure, but it has both outfits, so you can change it.
So you can have him in
It
both
was, it was
episodes.
a San Diego Comic Con exclusive, so there's only like so many of them made too, so it's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Playing Madison, when she said Madison isn't a name, I was like, yes,
And
it is.
I thought the same thing. Maybe in '84
It
it wasn't.
wasn't.
But in this day and age,
I
every
actually
other
wrote
girl
down,
is
I'm
named
like,
Madison.
did this make that a name for girls all of a sudden? This
Was that
feel
not
like
a
it
popular
wasn't-
name?
no.
I
I feel
I
like-
guess
No. I mean, it was a last name. Dolly Madison, James
Yeah.
Madison.
Yeah.
I feel like
Oscar
that became
Madison.
a name after the year 2000 at some point. Like when Mackenzie and Michaela and Madison all became like the name of, a lot of young girls. I feel like it was.
I have a cousin named
2000.
Madison, and she was born around 98, 99,
Yeah.
somewhere around
I think
there.
they're
Yeah.
all taking her name.
Yeah.
Daryl Hannah's name from this movie.
Yeah.
You want to try her top four?
Ooh. Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Which
that's
one?
a good one.
One.
One isn't in there now.
But
Damn.
she was very much
Volume
in
2 is.
Clan of the Cave Bear.
Clan of the Cave Bear.
I mean,
Was there a
No.
show called Sense 8?
I saw
Yeah,
that.
there was a show called that. Was she in
Is
it?
that, yeah.
She wasn't in that, was she? I don't
yeah.
remember her being in that. Sense8, it was a weird show.
Oh, yeah. It was very,
Very
weird.
weird.
Wasn't the Wachowskis? Didn't they do that one? I think it was
I'm not sure.
Wachowskis?
the guys
I
that
don't
did The
know.
Matrix.
You know what?
They're
Maybe.
ladies now.
Well, they were the guys during The Matrix.
How many-
Sorry.
they're
how does it possibly
ladies
both
now.
became
Yeah.
ladies
Forgot.
too, yeah.
Yeah. I always forget that fact, and then someone says it.
Well,
You're welcome.
because you're not dealing with them every day, so why would you think
'cause
about that?
I don't know, but every time someone says it, I'm like, oh my god, that's right.
So you got Kill Bill
Daryl
Volume 2.
Hannah, she's one of those people
she hasn't
like.
been in a lot of movies.
And I'm going
that
to take
I've seen.
Splash off the
Splash.
table. That's off. I'm taking that
Was
off
she
the
in My
Splash.
Stepmother's an Alien?
I don't think
Was she
so.
the alien, or I married an alien, or something?
Mike Myers? Is that the Mike Myers?
No, I
That's-
think that
that's
was
American
That's
Max
Max
Murder.
Murder,
Max,
yeah.
right, yes.
that was somebody else in I think
Yes,
Stepmother's
you know who I'm
an
thinking
Alien.
of?
That's
Kim
Kathleen
Basinger.
Turner.
No, Kim Basinger is the one I'm thinking of.
That was
Passenger?
Kathleen Turner. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
I'm
drawing a
confusing
total
them.
blank on Daryl Hannah. I should know stuff that she did, but
Blade Runner
God damn it, man.
Right.
and Wall Street.
I never saw Wall
Never
Street.
saw that either.
No, you
Yeah.
never saw Wall Street?
And she was
Kids,
great in Blade Runner.
Check that out. It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Playing Walter Kornbluth was Eugene Levy.
I love him.
He's great.
He was great.
And he was great in this, too. Doesn't look like he would be the kind of guy going underwater.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
But-
the guy that skin dive or scuba dived, jumped off the boat. That was definitely not him. That guy was a foot taller than him and like 100 pounds lighter. As soon as he jumped off the boat, I'm like,
Is
who's
that
that
when he
guy?
jumped off, when he went back in after he came up and told the kid to get off the
first time,
hose?
the first time when he's out there. But you see him, they do like a.
When he comes back
water-
up, he's on his hose. He's just,
You know
You
what?
see that?
I have a problem with these movies where like scientists are depending on really, really stupid people to help them out.
I have a problem with when a guy's that far underwater and then he goes like this to the rope and it's going to pull him up.
And that guy didn't
You're
even know
so
he
far
was
underwater,
there.
it's like this. That's not, you're not feeling that up top.
And the guy obviously wasn't even paying attention because he was sitting there on his rocking chair staring out into space.
No, those two guys are so funny. I'll forgive it. I love those guys.
Those guys were funny. Go ahead, try Eugene.
I'll go for okay. Schitt's Creek.
Nope.
American Pie?
Yes.
SCTV.
Aw.
No, but that was a good guess.
Which American Pie? The first one.
Yes.
The
no,
second
no
one.
more
then?
American
no more
Pies.
Ameri-
Yeah.
Okay. What was the one that I didn't see but you told me about? Best in Show. Is he in that?
That is
Oh
in
my
that,
God,
yes.
he is awesome in
That's
Best
on my
in Show.
list
That's
to
in his
watch.
top four also.
Yeah.
He has 2 left feet. Actually, physically, 2 left feet. It's great.
What was the movie he did with John Candy where they're like cops?
Oh, Armed and Dangerous.
Armed and Dangerous.
Not on there, though. That's a good movie.
Man.
So what do we
good.
have? We need 2.
You got Best in Show and American Pie.
And Splash, you said
Waiting for
Splash
Guffman?
Waiting for Guffman is in there, yes.
Just for guessing.
Oh,
Why don't you
That's
guess
great.
the other one?
Mighty Wind?
There you go. That's his top 4, yeah.
Nice.
Freddie Bauer, played by John Candy, passed away in 1994, aged 43.
Died eating shrimp.
Heart attack. He was only 43. Damn.
Yeah, but he was 150
So
pounds
he was
overweight.
only 32 in stripes. That's crazy.
Yeah, he
Well,
was,
he had to be young if he was joining the army, though.
he was super fat in that, too.
True.
I guess he was never
But he was super
never
fat, and
not fat.
he said he was a 32 and they were loose. That's
And they're loose.
Go ahead, try John Candy.
Stripes?
Did not make it in there, stripes.
Summer Rental.
No.
Uncle
that
Buck.
movie.
Uncle Buck, yes.
Love that movie, too. Is this the first time we've done John Candy? We haven't done, because we didn't do Stripes yet.
I think it is the
Oh,
first
Home
time.
Alone.
Home Alone.
Yeah, we did. Did we
We
do
did Home Alone, yeah.
And he was in that, yeah.
Splash.
Splash did not make it, no.
The Great Outdoors.
No, great movie.
God,
Yeah.
he's so good
I
in
like
that,
that
too.
movie a lot.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
That is in there, yes.
Oh,
Yes,
Who's
great
Harry
actor.
Crumb? Did you ever see that
I
one?
a great
did see
movie,
that,
too.
yes. Did not make it, though.
Did we get? We're still.
Oh,
missing one?
Spaceballs.
Yes.
Spaceballs, the movie. Oh my God.
The last one is the Blues Brothers.
I was going to say
Orange
Clues.
Whip? Orange
Uh-oh.
He's the cop.
Up
Wow,
next,
man. He had such a great career and dying at 43. Like all his
Yeah.
movies were home runs.
Yeah.
They
I'm sure
really
there were
were.
some stinkers in there too, but
Mrs. Stimler was played by Dodie Goodman, who's hardly in it, really.
Who-
if you think
who's
about
this?
it. Chick from Greece.
oh, the secretary.
Yeah.
Blanche.
Blanche. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the only cast member who made it to Splash 2.
I was gonna ask if anybody knew
What?
I didn't even know there was a
There's a
Splash.
Splash
Splash 2 is a
too?
TV movie.
I
Yeah.
tried to watch it. It's so bad. It's available free on YouTube. I got 22 minutes and I was out.
Wow. Who was the mermaid in this one?
Amy Yazbek.
Amy Yazbek, John Ritter's wife. I have it right here, and I have the link to the movie in case anybody wanted to see Splash 2. I
It's
was gonna give it to you.
so bad.
And that's-
I didn't watch it yet, but
Like-
Amy Yazbek and David Waring. I don't know who
I
that
don't know
was.
who
The
he
guy
is.
who was playing
Oh.
Alan.
But you said it's made for TV. It was like
Yeah, it was a made for
ABC
TV.
But
movie or
she's the
something.
only one who came back. Dodie Goodman's in
okay,
that
so
one.
it wasn't like they remade it. It
No,
was
no,
a
no.
follow up.
It was a sequel.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like they're going. He's coming back to New York.
Oh, so he's playing the
He's
Tom Hanks
playing
character?
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
playing Tom Hanks. He's
Oh.
coming back to see something happen. He's saving his business and
Oh,
something
he
else.
was able
okay.
to see into what was happening, and Freddie did something.
Was
and,
he still dropping quarters?
Oh my God.
and Freddie was played by, I don't know the actor's name, but he was in the Popeye movie. He was olive oil's bright. He was castor oil in the Popeye movie.
Oh my god!
Oh my
Awesome.
god.
I love pulls like that. Whenever we get the Popeye movie talked about on here is good.
Yeah.
Dancing
What was our
with
other movie
Popeye.
we used
I
to do
love
that
that
with?
movie.
Oh, the Twilight Zone, the movie.
Twilight
Whatever
Zone,
we're
the
talking
movie.
about, because we were always talking about the death scene in that.
Yes.
Something I watched recently had a Popeye. He was Brutus. Brutus?
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
John-
Brutus.
John-
Pluto.
Cusack?
Pluto.
Was he in Blood Simple?
or
would've been
Midnight Madness or something like that.
I don't think he was in Midnight Madness.
But
I think it was Blood Simple.
that guy was in the guy that played Pluto was in one of the
Pluto,
movies we've
yeah,
done
yeah.
recently. I
Yeah,
remember
and
we
it might be
talked
Blood
about
Simple, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember.
Blood Simple had like 4 people.
I know.
But it might have been him. Might have been
I'm
him.
trying to think. It wasn't Johnny Dangerously, and but
Oh, no.
Never know.
Last Starfighter.
No.
We did some fun ones.
Yeah.
Great year for movies.
So she has Grease, Splash, and Grease 2 in her top 4. The other thing in her top 4 was the Chipmunk Adventure.
Oh.
See, when she died, I mean, obviously she's got to be dead, right? Yeah.
She died in 2008, age 93.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Okay.
Natural causes. Up next was another oldie.
You could fall down the
Shecky
stairs
Green.
at 93, and that's natural causes. Now, he's still alive, right?
Shecky Green
No,
just
he
died last
died.
year.
Oh, did he
Who
finally
is this
die?
person?
He's
He's Mr. Byright.
the guy that's...
Oh, yeah, that he's trying to get the business with.
Played poker with
He
them?
wanted the
Oh, no,
cherries?
Yeah.
No, that was Augie.
Yeah, oh, he was the guy. But he was the guy that was buying the business.
He owned the supermarket chain.
Oh,
that
the
was-
supermarket guy. Okay.
Oh, he was the one that cared that his head wound was from Vietnam.
Yeah.
It's like, that's like Vietnam, like 8 years after the war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shecky, you want to try his? Splash is in there, so you're not going to get anything from
Did
that.
I
Did
didn't
you know
recognize
roast?
him.
Yeah, I mean, he was
Oh.
like stand-up, right?
Oh, he was in History Rule Part
There
1.
you go,
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Combat, that was a TV show, and The Fall Guy. So that was just probably episodes of those that he did, yeah. Speaking of The Fall Guy, there's a new Fall Guy
Yeah, the
coming
one-
out.
yeah,
But I'm hearing really good things
Ryan
about
Gosling.
It looked, I mean, the
Yeah.
preview looked fun. Like,
Yeah.
not a great movie.
That's what I was wondering if it'd be...
I think he's becoming like the new Ryan Reynolds, where he's just like charming and
He's just
you
going to
go
play
see him.
himself in
Yeah.
every
And he
movie.
does decent in each
Yeah.
movie, mix it... Yeah.
I'll watch it. Fun.
That Ken role, like, revitalized his career. Now everybody wants him. Like, go get that guy. He played Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's Beavis.
That was
Oh my
so
God.
funny,
That was
man.
hilarious.
Mikey Day was Butthead.
Yeah.
But also because what's her face could not keep it together.
Yeah. I
didn't blame her.
Oh,
But
that
still,
was
that
awesome.
sketch was...
Who's that?
The only one that
Heidi
kept
Gardner?
the only one that didn't laugh was...
Keenan.
Keenan.
Keenan, yeah.
He's been on the show for 80 years.
You know what?
He was staring right at it, so it wasn't like surprised.
Yeah,
like,
true.
when
She
turned
turned
it's like,
around, yeah. I like her a lot, too. She's funny.
Yeah, I like her too.
Playing Dr. Ross was Richard B. Shull. I don't
Doctor
remember who that
Who was
was.
the doctor?
Yeah.
Doctor. I don't
Oh,
know.
was the, like,
he was the guy
his boss
who was
kind
mean
of?
to Corn Blue.
Yeah.
The only reason I put him on here
Oh.
is he was in Clute.
Wasn't he also? So that guy wasn't he? Roy Wally from Vegas or from Vacation? The guy that was
He might have been. He looks like that
like
guy.
that guy.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I saw him, I'm like, oh, that's
And
Roy Wally. But
that
I
didn't make him
actually
into his
look
top
up.
4, yeah.
Well, then it probably was not him because
Or Wally was, because it didn't put it in the algorithm, wouldn't put it in there. you
Yeah.
know?
Lily's making an appearance. She always likes to make an appearance. Oh
She
my
likes to
God.
come on, yeah. We got...
He was in. So why'd you put? Oh, because he was in Clute with Jane
yeah,
Fonda.
Clute. That's the only... Yeah. Then we had Jerry. Do you remember Jerry from the movie?
Jerry was the friend.
Yeah, Bobby DeSicco played him. He was in the 1941,
Okay.
the Philadelphia Experiment, and I Want to Hold Your Hand from '78, and Splash made it in there for him too.
Yeah. He looked kind of familiar, but I don't think I saw any of the movies you just mentioned. So I saw 1941, but I'm sure I don't remember him from that.
Then you had Howard Morris, Dr. Zidell.
That was his mentor, right?
Yes,
Oh,
he's
that
also
was the, yeah.
from the Andy Griffith Show. He was whatchamacallit on there. I forget his name on there.
So wait, who's mentor? Who's the...
Eugene
Eugene
Levy's
Levy.
mentor.
Oh, okay. That's the guy I'm thinking is.
He played Ernest T.
No,
Bass.
that's the very old man.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, right. Yeah.
He played Ernest T. Bass on Andy Griffith. Can you tell me how many episodes of Andy Griffith
There were.
that he was in,
Oh.
and how many there were?
Oh, no.
I've never seen
I've
an
never watched
episode.
Andy Griffith.
All right, then how many episodes of Andy Griffith total were
A
there?
lot.
300. Yeah, it was
Really?
on for 10 years, and they did 30 episodes a season back then.
Are you
Really?
counting Mayberry RFD, or are we
I'm
just...
not counting me very correctly. What's your guess now? You said 300?
135.
320?
249
Wow.
episodes, and he was in 10 of them.
Oh, okay.
He was also in the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. But I also have him on here. He played Professor Lilliman in High Anxiety.
Okay.
High anxiety.
Great movie.
I love that movie.
That's like, I think, one of Mel Brooks' movies that doesn't get...
Enough love.
It does not get the attention, like, because it gets overshadowed by, like, Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, great movies.
But it's great.
Yeah.
But High Anxiety is a great movie.
I like that one a lot, yeah. Oh, yeah, Patrick Cronin. He played Michelson. He was one of the security guards. He was holding him back at the end there.
Okay.
I have him on here.
Like
'cause he played,
at the facility?
yeah, he played
Okay.
Sid Farkas on Seinfeld.
Okay. Farkas.
So I got him on here. Can you tell me how many episodes of Seinfeld Sid Farkas was on? How many episodes he did in the series?
4.
Do you know who Sid Farkas is? He was the bra salesman when George was trying to get the job. Bra
3?
sales-
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just guessing numbers. I'm saying random numbers. At
He
this
was in
point.
2 episodes.
2,
yeah.
okay. That might have been a 2-part.
That was a nice deep. I thought that was a deep.
Yeah, now that you say that,
deep
the
fun.
bra salesman, now I totally remember seeing him in this movie. Yep. Yep.
He's got that face. It
Yeah.
almost looks like Ned Beatty.
Yes.
It almost looks like
yes.
Ned Beatty if you look at him. Yeah. His partner was played by Charles Walker. He was in Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps, and Almost Famous. He was in.
I never
as well.
saw any of those.
So Almost Famous. I saw the first Nutty Professor. I never saw any of the
Then
other
like,
ones.
I got Royce Applegate. He played Buck Walter. I put him on here because he's the guy that kidnapped Sam on the Different Strokes episode.
Nice.
It's not the episode everybody loves with Gordon Jump, but
It's not the
No.
rape episode.
yeah, it doesn't get as much. But yeah, Sam
Nobody
gets
cared about
kidnapped.
Sam.
It's a great
They
episode.
could have kept him. No one would have cared.
Yeah, with that red hair.
Little ginger.
I like Cousin Oliver better than him.
I like
Oh, that's a hot take right
Robbie
there.
Wrist. I like him because he was in a few great episodes of Chips.
Oh, and Battlestar Galactica
Yes.
in 1980.
Playing Augie, who you mentioned a little
Augie.
earlier, was
I know him.
Tony Longo. Where do you know him from, Andy?
He's in Fletch. He's one of the cops in Fletch that,
Yep.
you're going to have your balls stomped on
He
by
died
him.
young. He died in
he's dead?
2015.
Wow.
Yeah, he was only 53. Congestive heart
Oh,
failure.
fuck, dude. I'd hate to be a 53-year-old with heart problems, man. Oh, wait.
He was in 16 Candles as well.
Oh, yeah, he was Jake's friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jake's friend. Oh, when they were doing the
At the-
pull-ups
at
or whatever,
at the
yeah.
Party.
He's doing the pull-ups, but then they were
But they
just
were
standing there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I could do those.
yes. I feel like I just saw that. Oh, wait. We just did that one.
Playing Miss Stein, Nora Denny. And Miss Stein was the lady who tells her, you can't be wearing those clothes, when she was just wearing his suit.
At
yeah.
Bloomingdale's.
Do you know who she is?
She
No,
looked.
Do you know who she is?
No.
She's Mrs. TV. Mike TV's mom from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, wow.
She looked
Really?
taller in this movie.
She looked a lot older, too. And I guess this is like, 10 years after?
Well, that was 71.
Oh, so 13 years
Yeah.
after.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
She looks so much older.
Then
Mrs. TV.
the
That's
last
a
two
bad
people
last
I had
name.
in the cast were Rance and Clint Howard.
Clint Howard with hair.
Clint Howard. I must have missed
He
him.
was at the
Where-
He was at the wedding.
He was the wedding guest who got yelled at
Yeah,
by
yeah.
Tom Hanks.
Oh,
And,
I missed that.
and Rance Howard was in the beginning. That's Ron Howard's.
He was
their
McCullough
dad.
who wanted
Oh.
the cherries that were slanted.
Yeah.
Is
Where
that-
am I
That was
cherries?
his dad?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't know
He's been in
that.
a million
He's a
things,
really
too.
good character actor.
Oh,
He's been in a lot
okay.
of stuff. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. I knew about Clint Howard, but I didn't know about his dad.
Who I met recently.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah. And he didn't he like IM you back or something
He
like that?
he gave my
Oh, that's
picture a like
right.
on
Yeah.
Instagram. Yeah, so I felt good about that. And but he gave it a like months later.
Oh.
So he was like probably at like another convention and he was like bored looking at like all his.
Instagrams, he was like,
Look at this kid, I'm this loser. That's all I had for the cast. Unless anybody else had anything else from the cast that they wanted to talk about.
I don't think I do.
No.
So then talk about
I
this
thought
movie.
Augie was going to be my pull because he was in Fletch. As soon as I saw him, I'm like, it's a cop from Fletch.
Yeah, my poll was Nora Denny.
Mrs. TV, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
My first favorite line in this movie is in the sepia tone 1960s, which actually, it wasn't really the 60s because it was 20 years ago. So it was actually 2004 when this movie started.
Wait, what?
Well, because it just
They
says
say
20 years later.
and then they say
20
this
years
morning.
ago. And
Yeah.
then
Oh, yeah, they go this morning.
So
That
when
was
I
so
watched
random.
it today, that was 2004 when this movie started. That was 20 years ago. When the dad smacks him in the back of the head and the mom's like, listen to your...
It does
That
say
was
here,
so good.
credited with introducing the girl's name Madison, which has since become one of the most popular
there you go.
names for newborn girls in the early 21st century.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you
okay.
name your kid Madison, she will be a stripper at some point in her life.
Jesus.
Definitely.
My cousin isn't.
Yeah.
Not
What
yet.
are you trying to say?
Huh?
Not yet. I
Well,
said at
she's
some point.
she's in a wheelchair, but thanks.
I'm sure there's some kind of kink for that, dude. Someone's-
She is in a wheelchair, so she will not be a stripper.
Oh,
but
That's the only reason?
You made it so not fun, dude. Sorry.
I was trying to be. That's what sucks when somebody makes it real serious, right?
Yeah.
When you try to be
Well,
funny.
Why would
Yeah.
you do that, man? We're trying to have a good
No,
time
'cause
here.
He had already told you he had a cousin named Madison,
Yes.
and you had to go there. That's what you get.
Yeah.
That's what I
And he's
got.
left me hanging out there when I'm.
I guess that's what she got. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's left me hanging out there to dry when I had nothing to say. I was too high and I wanted to say something, and he just lets me sit there and I'm trying to say it. He knows I can't say it. He's just staring at me.
Uh-huh.
So I'm getting him back.
Listen, I
Yeah.
never met Madison, so
I hardly
have
see
no
her,
blame.
so she probably wouldn't recognize me if she saw me, but she's related to me.
She's not walking over to your place. Oh, sorry.
You know what's funny when the movie starts and the song's going, Wooly Bully?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yes.
the actual song,
They're playing it on
and then
the
they go in. So is Sam, Sham, and the Pharaohs on the boat?
Because it would have been like 1964
Yeah, it was
or
like a
something like
current
that.
song,
it would have been
right?
new at that time. Maybe that's where it started. It started on the Cape Cod Ferry.
Ron Howard had turned down 2 other movies to direct this movie.
Wow.
Do you want to try and guess those other movies that he
Have we
turned down?
discussed
Yeah,
it?
have we done it?
Oh,
We
yeah,
discussed
Mr. Mom.
both of them.
Mr. Mom.
Mr.
He turned
Mom
down
is
Mr.
one of them.
Mom.
Oh, okay.
He talked about him turning down Mr. Mom, and he turned down.
What did...
It's a movie you had never seen.
Ooh, shit.
You gotta cut.
Oh, Footloose. He cut
Oh.
Footloose. He turned down Footloose too, huh? Oh, well, he wouldn't. That's no good for
Yeah,
him.
but Mr.
Yeah.
Mom would. I could see him doing a
Totally
Mr. Mom
Mr.
type
Mom.
of movie.
And I'm surprised they didn't do that because Michael Keaton was his boy. He had
Yeah.
done Night Shift with him. Weird. All right.
And
Well,
that
this is a better
scene
movie.
with John Candy with the racquetball and the that's a one take.
One take.
A
Oh,
one take
really?
and nailed him right in the head
I'm
perfect.
surprised he had a heart attack right there. I
was hungover.
Yeah, there was no way that John Candy was acting when he was like sitting on the cooler, just like my heart's not beating like we're having. I'm like, oh yeah.
He'd been out all night with Jack Nicholson the night before. He came in with a
Yeah.
hangover.
Yep.
He was probably all coked up. Yeah. Oh my god. I was like, this is no acting right here from John Candy. That's a scene that I remember being in the trailer and seeing that, they show the scene where he hits the ball and it hits him in the head, and I was like, oh, I gotta see this movie. I'm like, that looks so funny.
Candy wanted to originally play Corn Bluth, but Ron Howard convinced him to play Freddie. And then John Candy recommended Eugene Levy.
Okay,
for,
okay.
Do you say Levy or Levy?
Levy.
Levy.
Yeah, I keep saying both because I'm like, I
Which
don't know
one
which one's
is
right.
it, actually?
Levy.
Okay.
I keep hearing Dan Levy.
Chevy
I
to
said
the
talk about his son.
levee, but the levee was dry.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
I hate that song.
Now I don't know what I say because you started singing and now I forget what I say.
Levy.
Do I say Levy or Levy?
Eugene Levy.
I think
Eugene
I say
Levy.
Levy.
I think you used to say Levy.
I think I say Levy when I'm trying to be like a dick, like Eugene Levy.
But now I don't know
He's
because
always
we've
a
said
dick.
that word too many times, so
So
I
I
have
say
no
Eugene
idea.
Levy all the time.
You say you're a dick all the time.
Her fin weighed 35 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
That's a
Damn.
lot to swim with, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't sink with that thing on. I'm sure they had handlers around her just
Took
in case.
3 hours to put it on.
I wonder if they filmed all the underwater scenes first, just
I
to
would hope
do
so.
all that. We're not going back into the water. Like, get it all done.
I wonder how bad that sucked for her.
She said, I couldn't eat because I couldn't go to the bathroom. I just lay there shivering with barnacles and my hair soaking wet.
Aw.
That sucks.
This is how we get into Hollywood.
Yep.
This was the first movie released under Disney's Touchstone Pictures label.
Oh, I remember that being a big deal at the time.
And it was
because,
created
this
so
was
the
not
studio
a
could do more
G
adult-
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was PG. You said PG at the beginning. I kind of thought this was PG-13. I remember seeing this in the theater because the Trenton Times write-up of the movie had
It was March 9th. It was before.
full nudity written as one of the things to look out for your children. I'm like, we have got to see this movie
I
in
mean,
the
there's
theater.
full butt crack.
It was March 9th.
And you see
so-
her boobs
they're-
like a lot of
but they're
times.
very
well, their hair's blocking them a lot, or
It wasn't until the
water-
summer of that year when the PG-13
So it was
came
before
out.
PG-13,
Yeah, so it was
okay.
before, yeah.
I can't imagine being the person on in the movie who's like in charge of keeping her covered enough where Disney will let you release the movie.
right? I mean, except for the butt scene, everything else was kind of.
And Disney Plus blurred it out when they first put it on but they restored full butt
Well,
crack.
because didn't Disney do a thing where you had to say, "I want adult content"
Yes,
or something
I
like
think
that? You had
they
to
did.
agree to something. I
Oh,
remember when I
Disney?
was-
Yeah, I have a
remember when I still had
four-digit
Disney.
passcode or whenever I go on
I mean,
Disney.
not like adult, but I remember I got because I think they were putting like all the
There's an
Fox.
adult section. You got to look for it.
But when they were putting like
Debbie
the
does
Fox
Disney.
stuff, when they were putting like Alien on there and stuff like that, they had
Yeah.
to get you to agree to, if you want to scar your children, it's on you.
Daryl
Already scarred
Hannah
my
is
children.
Daryl Hannah is a vegetarian, and she refused to eat real lobster for the restaurant scene. So the crew scooped out the insides of real cooked lobsters and filled them with hearts of palm and mashed potatoes. Ron Howard said Hannah cried after each take over the deaths of the lobsters for their shells.
Oh, for the love of God. I was actually kind of happy that she wasn't one of those mermaids that like cared about fish. Like I thought there was going to be a scene. I
when
mean,
she
it's
saw
been
the fish
for
in his
so
tank.
long that I haven't seen this movie. I was like, is there going to be a scene where she like, why do you have them in the cage? Because he had the aquarium in
Yep.
his office and in his house, and then when she was eating the lobster, I was like, oh yeah, she's not going to protest saying like, this is Larry. I was just talking to him the other day, and
You're thinking
then
of like
she
the boys when he was eating the octopus.
Oh my God!
kind
Why
of
did
thing,
you
yes.
remind me of that horrible
Oh my
scene?
God, that was
You watch
great.
the boys?
Oh, watch the boys, Dan. Oh, yeah,
my
yeah,
God!
yeah. It's a good. It's a good show.
If you ever see a scene where they're about to eat dinner, just
Oh my
skip
God,
it.
That's so good. Yeah, but I was really kind of like surprised that they didn't make her a pro fish kind of
I
person.
guess maybe if it was a little
Well, because
later.
what else would a mermaid eat in the sea if she's
I don't
not
know,
eating
kelp?
fish?
I don't know. I don't know what mermaids eat.
Krabby Patties.
Yeah, obviously. What was she really biting into? What was that?
He said heart of
Hard.
No, I
It's
mean the
mashed
shell. Was
yeah,
she
the
really
shell was
biting
real.
into
The
that?
shell was real, yeah. Mashed potatoes and.
Can you just bite
heart.
into a
They have her
lobster
bite into an
shell?
actual shell. Wouldn't that hurt?
I
I
feel
thought
like
so, too,
you
yeah.
would break your teeth or
Or
something.
maybe it was
I
a
don't know.
candy shell. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I forgot there was one other person for the cast, Crazy Eddie cameo.
Oh.
yeah, that was
With the East
great.
Brunswick shout out.
That
Yeah.
was so they were mentioning all the stories. That was so. I mean,
I loved Crazy
I
Eddie.
loved going to Crazy Eddie's back in the day. We had one down in the Mercer Mall.
Route 1 there, yeah.
the closest one that we
Yeah.
had. That was great.
We used to buy all our video game cartridges there, and
All our stereo
Yeah, I
I feel bad for
stuff.
the guy, the actor in the commercials, because everyone thought he was Crazy Eddie.
Yeah,
And then when
yeah, oh, yeah.
Eddie Antar goes to jail, everyone thinks it's this guy.
And I think didn't Seinfeld base that one guy that Elaine
Yeah,
was in
Leaping
love
Larry.
Leaping Larry. No. She's in love with the guy. He's like the sofa king or something like that. But his eyes are so mesmerizing. She fell in love with them. And
That's a little different. I think you're getting confused with the Friends story too. Where,
maybe.
yeah. But
That's
I'm
because
gonna
they
give
both
you.
took place in New York. They had to.
I'm going to give you a list of all the people that were that wanted to play Alan Bauer or got turned down. Before Tom Hanks accepted the role of Alan Bauer, it had already been turned down by Chevy Chase,
Oh, thank God.
Good.
Bill Murray,
Good.
Dudley Moore,
Oh,
That would
no.
be weird.
John Travolta,
No.
Michael Keaton.
Maybe.
That would have
Yeah.
been good.
Travolta passed on the advice of his agent. Jeff
Was this when he was
Bridges.
doing all those great movies in the 80s and 90s before Pulp Fiction?
Jeff Bridges, Richard Gere, Kevin Kline,
Oh, Richard Gere would have been so good.
Kevin Kline would have been good too.
Yeah.
David Morse, Burt Reynolds, Robin Williams,
Ew, Burt Reynolds.
John Hurd, Christopher Reeve, and Robert Klein were
So
also
everybody.
considered for the role.
Christopher Reeve could have done it. I feel like he was
I
handsome.
mean, he was like in the
Excuse
middle
me,
of Superman.
you hate Burt Reynolds? Excuse me?
I didn't say I hate him. I think I just groaned.
You said something. I heard you
I
say
think I said-
something. All right.
She made a noise.
We'll go back and listen to this after.
She made a Burt Reynolds sound. But Burt Reynolds was too old for this at the time. I mean,
Yeah,
he was
but I
like
love
40
Burt.
already. No way would that have
Well,
worked.
Dudley Moore was way too old for
He
it,
was
too.
too old,
yeah.
too.
No, he just no. I can't see him as a romantic anything.
What, Dudley Moore?
Yeah.
Did you
But
not
what about
watch,
Arthur?
You never watched, what's that?
Or 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's with Bo Derek.
Oh no,
Good
no,
Lord.
there no.
You should watch
that movie.
Arthur. That's a
I've
good
seen
movie.
Arthur,
Yeah.
and he's not.
He's
just
so
don't
charming
find-
in that.
I don't
I would
find
sleep with him
him-
in that one.
I don't find him. And back then, I was always just like, no, he's not cute. I don't know. I never got it.
It's because he's short. She doesn't like short guys.
He had those British teeth too.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it's because he was British.
Now you got British. You have
She's
problem with British.
anti-British.
You know, I'm not an. Whatever.
What? Why do I know you're not? Maybe you are.
I am. I hate British people.
I thought so. Thank God it's out there. How do you grow up on the East Coast and not know how to swim?
I had that in my
never-
notes.
Well, he was
knowing how to swim.
traumatized. He was traumatized. Well,
Was it the being traumatized from
he was
having
traumatized
fallen?
from falling off.
But he was like 10 when he jumped in the water. He should have known how to swim by then.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to Cape Cod, I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
why don't you know how to swim?
also in that scene when he doesn't like. I remembered him like maybe he fell off the boat. He just like was staring
Yeah,
at his
suicide.
face and was like, "I'm out," and jumped off the boat. I'm like, "Oh."
I said that
This is
as I'm
dark.
watching. I'm like, is he committing suicide? Because he's just
I thought
jumping
he was
off
going
the
to get
boat.
knocked off by maybe all the
Yeah.
adults were talking and like bumping
Yeah, he
into
just,
him
like-
and ignoring him, and then it just fell in. But
And at the end, when he's swimming to her, like he's swimming, not well, but he is
Yeah.
swimming to her when he jumps in when the cop or the army's coming behind him.
do you remember what the name of John Candy's article in Penthouse Forum was?
Oh my
A
God.
lesbian no more.
Very good.
He was so proud about that. He was handing them out to everybody. He's like, I want to make sure everybody gets
Yeah,
one.
all
One of the best entrances in cinematic
Yeah,
history.
and he drives into the. He's like, "Who put all these boxes here?" or whatever. Or
I'm
that's
all right if everyone's okay. Everybody cares.
This movie needed more John Candy.
I'll tell you,
and more.
Yes.
Every movie needs more John Candy.
One of my thoughts was afterwards, while I was giving the review, was like, "This is a good movie." Without John Candy, it is a great movie because of John Candy. It is a great movie.
And
because
Eugene
of him.
Levy.
Yeah, but John Candy is so good in
I don't know what to call him.
Let's call him Eugene.
Yeah.
You'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I thought John Candy made this movie from just a regular rom-com that was probably all over the place in the 80s. He was the extra thing that made it a classic. That's worth doing on this podcast.
Like he was super funny, but he had some heart in some places. I always thought that if he'd lived, he might have come out with one of those like dramatic roles that would have been like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be the next John Goodman.
Wasn't he in
Like-
JFK?
Was he
Yeah,
JFK?
yeah, oh, yeah,
He was in
yeah,
JFK.
Was he JFK? I don't even
He was
remember
like
being in that.
because it was a 5-hour movie
And
with a
everybody
billion
was
people.
in
in
it.
it.
Everybody
Yeah,
was
no.
in that movie, yeah.
He was like Daddy-O and whatever.
What was I had, the cop saying to the naked woman, "This ain't California."
Yeah, we
I
don't do
know.
that stuff here.
And the park ranger.
What's he say when
He's
he says
like, a gift from French people to naked ladies everywhere. Bocce balls.
Yeah.
Bocce balls.
That's Lowell Gans.
That's Lowell Gans, yeah, from Happy Days.
He's one of the writers.
Yep.
bocce balls?
Lowell
That was great.
Gans. I always remember seeing that when I was watching Happy Days, and I always remember we had a paper boy that reminded me. He looked like Fonzie, and he would always do it too. He would come like, "Hey," and I would always get excited to answer the door when he was coming. I was like, "It's a paper boy."
I asked Michelle, Dana, you might know this also as a woman with long hair. I was like, how did her
Long hair,
hair
it's specific.
come out of the ocean perfectly crimped like that, like at
I
the Statue
know.
of Liberty? I was like,
You know-
should her hair be like wet and stringy for one
As a
thing, but
person
it's all
who
like,
actually has curly hair,
and I'm sure you had crimped hair in the 80s like that. Michelle's like, that looks, Michelle's like, that looks
absolutely.
just like my hair from 1984.
yeah. That's something that always bothers me in movies when people go to the beach and they get their hair wet, especially
Yeah.
a girl who has naturally curly hair. Your hair doesn't look like it. Just one of those things that drives me insane. That's not what your hair looks like. If you have real curly hair, when you get out of the beach, get out of the water, it drives me
like when
nuts.
Phoebe Cates comes out of the water.
Oh my
Her hair
god!
is slicked back. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh, wow.
Nobody even
Drives me
notices she
nuts.
has hair.
No.
She's had a head.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that about Daryl Hannah a couple times. I'm not a big Daryl Hannah fan. Like, I don't find her attractive.
I don't find her
She's
attractive.
pretty.
This is
either.
why Neil Young and David Crosby got into a fight, so watch what you say. Neil Young never
She was
talked
with
They're
both
still
of those
married.
guys,
She's still married to Neil Young, yeah. But I forgot to
Wait,
mention
what?
Daryl
married
Hannah's
to
married to
Neil
Neil
married to
Young.
Neil Young, and David
I-
Crosby said some shit about her on somewhere, and then
Was it a
Neil Young-
podcast
Oh.
or something?
I didn't know they were married.
And that's
Wow.
why Crosby
Oh,
still
he said
smashing-
something like she's unattractive or something
He
like
said
that? Or
he said something about
It
her.
was like
He said
with
she's a
something
handsome
like that.
woman. I
something
think.
negative about her,
I think she's so pretty.
Oh, I don't find her
her attractive.
and that's
Yeah.
why they never got together. Everyone hated David Crosby.
And now David Crosby is dead.
That's
And
what
Neil
you get.
Young is a monster. My God, the fact that she's with him. I mean, I don't find her attractive. She could do better than
But
Neil Young.
Neil Young's
Wow.
not attractive.
I mean, Neil Young has never been good looking, even when
No.
he was young. And
You
now
know who
he's-
is good looking though? Steve Guttenberg, who auditioned for the lead role but didn't get it. But Ron Howard put him in his next movie.
Cocoon.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah.
we'll be doing that one next year with a young Wilford Brimley.
He's only like 55.
51.
51.
51.
Ridiculous.
He was the young guy in that. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. Well, you had like Don Amici and Jessica Tandy and stuff like that in that one.
They're all like, hey, let's go hang out. Who's this? Oh, wait.
Hey, kids, this young buck.
Remember they were supposed to do a Splash remake?
With Channing
And they were
Tatum.
supposed to switch it around,
Yeah,
right?
it was Channing Tatum
Channing
was going to
Tatum
be a
was
merman.
supposed to be
Ew,
the
really?
merman.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awful.
I didn't know if
Thank
that
God
was
they
a
didn't
And it
do
was
that.
supposed to be Jillian Bell was supposed to be the female.
I don't know.
I like her.
I don't know
From
her.
Workaholics.
Oh.
The blonde from Workaholics.
I didn't know if that actually became a thing and I just forgot about it, or I remember them talking about it back when they were discussing.
That would have been terrible.
I remember, and I was just like, why?
Just
was-
like when they redid Overboard, I was,
It was
so
like the
disappointed they
same
redid
time
it.
when they were
Yeah.
remaking every movie, but they had to switch sexes.
the genders, yes. Terrible.
Same thing with Splash. It was going to be a male mermaid and a girl.
That's Jillian Bell.
Oh, yeah, I do know her. Yeah.
I don't like her.
She's in the 21 Jump Street, I believe.
She
Yeah.
is. She was just in something else I was watching.
Yeah,
too.
I've seen her recently too. I don't know
Shit, what
what.
the hell was I just watching?
She's in like an episode or two of Modern Family, I think.
You know what? Maybe that's what I was watching because we've been watching a lot of Modern Family recently. So when they're in after Bloomingdale's, after she rescues him from after he rescues her from whatever the
Blowing up
TV
the
store.
TVs.
Yeah, they're walking down the street, and I saw Outsiders on the marquee.
Oh, I got that marquee.
I
right
saw
here.
Lost
Raise the
Ark.
Lost Ark.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw the Evil Dead,
Dead
and the
and
Evil
some-
Dead one also had Sweet Cheeks and Skin Tight showing.
Mistress.
There was a movie theater in Marquee, Big Three feature show. What was on that Big Three
It
feature
was
show?
Skin
Mistress,
Tight,
Skin
Mistress,
Tight,
and Sweet
Sweet
Cheeks.
Cheeks.
You got 'em,
That was
you
next
got
to
'em.
Evil Dead
and
one.
Evil
yeah.
Dead, yep.
You know what doesn't make sense though?
Evil Dead came out in 82.
Well, no, but about the walk. He gets
Or
her at
81.
Bloomingdale's. They're walking through Times Square because they go by the TKTS, and then they go to his apartment, and he lives in his apartment was like Tudor Tower, so he's in Tudor City, which is by the UN, which is over over by the
So
East
they
River.
were
Inside, yeah.
I was like, you walk how
How
Well,
fancy.
maybe they didn't show him getting the subway, but that's something that only a guy that works in New York would know or lives in New York.
my office is near Tudor City.
When Madison's watching television at the department store, there's a toothpaste commercial, and there's a little boy in that toothpaste commercial. Do you know who that little boy is?
Was it a real toothpaste commercial?
No, yeah,
So it was a real commercial,
Yes,
and
it's a
that
real
kid turned
commercial
out to
playing.
be somebody.
Yes.
Damn, I do not
I
know who
didn't
that
look
was.
close
It
enough.
was Emmanuel Lewis
Really?
Oh.
himself. Yes.
Wow. Wow,
Really?
Webster.
And now I have a bunch of actresses that either auditioned for or were considered for the role of Madison, which went to Daryl Hannah. Jodie Foster auditioned but turned
Oh.
it down in
Yeah,
order
she
to
was
play
too
a
big for
character
this.
in the Hotel New Hampshire. Rosanna Arquette auditioned but had to back out. Brooke Shields reportedly turned down an offer to play Madison so she could study French literature at Princeton.
Oh, God.
Before Daryl Hannah accepted the role of Madison, it had already been turned down by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Melanie Griffith, Jeannie Francis, Fiona Fullerton, Diane Lane, Tatum O'Neill, Michelle Pfeiffer, Sharon Stone, and Kathleen Turner. Deborah Winger reportedly wanted the role of Madison, but Ron Howard turned her down. Lisa Welchel, Blair on Facts
Blair.
of Life, on account of her huge popularity as Blair Warner from The Facts of Life, also was considered for the role of Madison. That might have worked.
Melanie Griffith would have worked.
Tanya Roberts also auditioned for the role of Madison, but she turned it down because she was busy working on
A View to a Kill?
Sheena.
Oh.
Shelley Long, Ali Sheedy, and Molly Ringwald were also considered for
This is
the role
another
of
one of those
Madison.
where everybody in Hollywood was considered for it.
Yeah.
According to the Biography Channel, Bill Murray and PJ Souls were considered for the roles of Alan Bauer and Madison, but Murray turned it down. PJ Souls from
Stripes.
in the Ramones movie Rock and Roll High
Rock
School.
Rock and Roll High School, yeah. She's one of the girls that
one of the MPs.
They go out with.
Yeah.
He has her on the stove, and
Yeah.
Doesn't he have the
Sean Young? Not Sean Young.
No, Sean Young was with Howard Ramis.
Right. Yep.
You didn't see Stripes.
No.
You need to.
Yeah, okay.
Look, we
Stripes
don't
is
like Bill Murray either, but
Stripes
he
is
was
a
great.
great
Oh, I have
movie.
no problem with Bill Murray.
Yeah, the character
Unlike
that Bill
you
Murray
two.
played in Ghostbusters and in Groundhog Day, that's the character he plays in Stripes too.
A young John Larroquette.
And John Larroquette,
Yep.
yes. That's a great movie. And a young John Candy. Well, younger.
That's the one who didn't try out for John Larroquette. Didn't try out for
Judd
this movie.
Reinhold too, right? Judd Reinhold was
Yeah.
in that.
Tim Allen and John Goodman were both considered for the role of Freddy.
I
John
can't
Goodman could have done a good
stand
job.
Alan.
Yeah, I think John Goodman was big at the time.
Like
yeah.
older. I mean, I feel like
John Goodman's first movie, you know what it was?
Revenge of the Nerds.
There you go. We do that soon. It's coming up.
Dan should be on this podcast.
I mean,
man.
he
Like,
would
I
have
don't know this
been
shit.
old enough because he was only a couple of years away from starring in Roseanne at this point.
Yeah,
What was it, Roseanne? 88, 89?
Yeah,
Yeah,
late
late
80s.
80s.
Yeah.
This was Tim Allen, fresh off his coke.
Had he been arrested yet? Or
Who
I
was
think so,
Tim
yeah.
Allen? Like, was he Tim Allen even anybody
a
at this
comedian.
point?
No, he was a stand-up.
stand
Oh, he
up?
was a stand-up. Okay.
And he was a
Dealing
stand-up
coke on
who
the
dealt
side.
coke.
Yeah, because I never heard of him
Had it
until
in
that
Detroit,
show.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
listen,
Michigan.
I'm sure Tim Allen wasn't the only stand-up dealing coke. He was just the one that we know that got
No, but he
busted.
was like he said, it was trafficking.
Yeah,
it
it
wasn't
was-
like just dealing.
Oh,
he was
wow.
like,
Yeah, hey, where are you going to be tomorrow? Boston? Hey, can you take a pound up there for me? Everybody was doing it. Jerry Seinfeld was doing it too. He just never got busted.
John Hurd for Alan Bauer. They thought about that for a little while.
I think this movie is perfectly cast. I mean, Tom
Yeah.
Hanks was great as Alan, and obviously John Candy was great
I am team Fonzie when it comes to the Tom Hanks Henry Winkler feud.
too. Well, I don't know.
I don't think I can take
really
a
what happened.
side. I'll have to do some
You
research.
have to take us next week. Do some research.
I
Next
will.
week we'll do it.
I'll give you my answer.
The two guys who play Corn Bluth's assistants, the Moron
Those
Twins.
guys. Yeah.
That's such a.
When they
such
said,
a
we're not morons. Or no, he's
like,
like,
just me and the Moron Twins.
he said, we're
No,
not
we're
twins.
not
twins.
Yes.
It's one of my most quotable lines for the movie.
It says, let's see here. What do you got, Andy? Anything good over
Well,
there?
it was, while I'm watching this, I was like, they should have a scene like, they were doing the whole thing where Eugene Levy was trying to like spray her with the water, and he kept getting the same couple.
yeah.
I was thinking that it was going to happen again at the president's thing. I couldn't remember exactly where she was going to get exposed, so I was expecting him to again spray the wrong person
Yeah.
there. But I was also expecting there to be since water was her superpower or whatever, I was expecting there to be a rainy night, and there ended up being one where she was like kind of hiding under the bridge. But I was hoping that there was a scene where they were like out and it started raining, and she was like,
Yeah.
I got to get out of the rain," and it just never happened.
But how
I thought
much
that was-
moisture does there have to be?
Yeah.
Like, if
Yeah.
it's like really humid, can she not go to Orlando in like summer? What happens?
So water's her superpower, but it's also...
Well,
No, it's
that's her kryptonite, really.
Yeah, it's her
But it
kryptonite.
makes her a superhero.
But it also water makes her
Not on
swim
land,
really well,
though.
too, though.
Not
So
on land.
water is also her superpower when she's in it, but it hurts her when she's on land, yeah.
But why could she said you can when he went with her at the end, he could breathe as long as he was holding her hand?
No,
With-
like once she kissed him when they were underwater, then he was able to breathe.
Oh, okay.
So did he become a mermaid
Okay.
then?
But he didn't
He's a
get fin- he
merman.
didn't- Merman.
You didn't ever see him get fins,
Yeah, does he
but
get
he
fins?
never gets naked
But if he
either.
gets fins,
so.
doesn't he lose everything down below?
In Splash 2, he does not have fins.
He does not. He still has legs. Really? Okay.
Okay.
That might have been a budgetary.
But it was a kind of a funny
It
thing.
was
where
a TV movie, so they didn't
the
have as
only
big a
reason he
budget.
doesn't leave with her is because he can't visit Freddie for Christmas or
That's
whatever.
it?
I'm like,
Never
really?
visit
Like,
Freddie
that's
again.
the only reason you're not going with
But
her?
could
Yeah.
you bring Freddie, too? If she gets him a kiss
Yeah,
in the
right.
water, right?
Leaving your entire life, though, that's like a big decision to make on the.
He had
But
a
obviously
business.
it wasn't his entire life because in Splash 2 he was able to leave.
It's also Splash, TOO.
Oh, is there
Yeah,
like
that's how it's-
yes.
that's
is there
how
a
it
new person being introduced to have the mermaid
I don't know.
power? Is that why?
I only got 22 minutes in, so I don't know.
I think I'm going to try and watch it. Like I said, I see it.
Maybe I'll do it 10 minutes at a time, but it's really hard.
Everybody's still alive. John Candy's not alive, but they should do a sequel now where we see Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah at like 70 years old. What
Come swim out of the water.
They have like grandchildren that are mermaid people. She said something about that at one point where he's like,
Chet
I
Hanks.
hope you have a boy and a girl. And she
What
said,
kind?
Chet Hanks will come out speaking Jamaican. Or is that patois? Is that what they call Jamaican? Patois.
I don't know.
The language, I think, yeah.
They could get the Hanks kid that's like all the rap star now or whatever.
That's Chet Hanks.
Oh, but that's not what they call him, right?
His name's
have, like,
Chet
No, his name was Chet.
Doesn't he have some kind of like
No, his name was
street
Chet.
name or something like that?
His rap name is Chet Hanks.
He was in an episode of Atlanta, right?
Modern Family as well.
Oh, was he in Modern? I remember him in Atlanta.
Yes, he was in Atlanta at that
At the funeral?
Yeah. I'm done with notes. Anybody
Yeah.
have anything else they want to add?
I have nothing.
We talk about how bad the security was at that presidential dinner where.
They allowed him to actually get the hose and continue
Well, first of
spraying
all,
it
he
everywhere.
got into
Was
the.
Secret Service even there?
Yeah, they were, but they were just like, but usually they like vet everybody who's going to
Of
be
course,
in there.
yeah.
They let in a mermaid who has no idea.
Yeah, what's the credentials?
There's
why,
no ID.
Why were they
She has
there?
no-
Why were Freddie and Allen there to begin with? Why are they going to a presidential dinner? Because
They got
work-
invited because of
They
their
were
business.
invited.
because of
yeah.
their because of
They
their
talked about it earlier.
their fruit.
Yeah.
Because of the
I know
fruit
they talk
business,
about
yeah.
it, but why?
The fruit business. The guy who was they were going to get the
Mr. Byright?
deal with
Was
at the
Byright getting
binder.
the
Yeah.
deal there?
I love that his name's Mr. Byright.
Byright.
It's like the Outer Bridge Crossing is named after a guy named Outer Bridge.
I know. I've
which
always
is
been
what
amazed
I
by
love
that.
fact.
I always joke around about that whenever I go in there, and I'm like, "Who's the like? Did they name the turnpike after like John Turnpike or something like that? It makes no
John
sense.
Q. Turnpike.
Turnpike. Yeah, the security there was terrible, but the fact that he was spraying her for like a good 10 seconds with the guys just going like, no, like, grab his hand and don't allow him to do it.
Tackle him.
Did you notice when they dive in at the end, the coral reef that they're swimming through in the East River there?
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, there's no possibility that this
Wait, I had to
Especially
look
not
it up
in
where it was
1984.
filmed.
No.
Because Tara's like, I've never been to Cape Cod, but I don't remember the water being that blue.
No,
Or when we were in Cape Cod,
Well,
I was like,
that's the 60s, so maybe in the
no,
60s, but
it was the
probably not.
Bahamas.
No,
Yeah.
there was no EPA back then.
No.
There was none of that.
Yeah, it was even browner.
Yeah, those ferries were just dumping waste in
Yeah.
as they're
You'll like
putting
this
along.
one. Barbara Streisand was offered a role in the film, but she declined because she presumed the part would take too much time away from her being with her family.
Well, what part would she's not the mermaid? She's not the star, right? I mean, I can't imagine Barbara Streisand in this movie.
It's
In any-
40 years ago, Barbara Streisand.
Was she
too,
going to be the secretary wearing the bra on the outside of her? maybe then I'll allow it. I don't think Barbara Streisand should be in this movie. Oh my God. I just have racquetball smoking is the best. I remember when I was like 17 or 18, we were playing racquetball they had these courts in the Mercer Mall over there. I don't even remember what that gym was called, but we were smoking because John Candy did it in this movie. We're like, let's just have cigarettes. And I mean, we were 17 at the time. We were able to actually play and smoke.
It
Unlike
was funny
John
when she
Candy.
was shy in the bathtub, but they had already had sex.
Yeah. In the elevator.
She's a mermaid, and like most of her, how does she know about
Sex.
Anything?
Like she got up and like
Because she watched TV for 8 hours.
No, but before that, when she sees him on the island, when she rescues him and he's on the island, she like boom, making out right away.
Yeah, true.
And they were going at it before she saw the TVs at Bloomingdale.
They never showed one other mermaid, so you don't know what her
Yeah.
society's like.
Does she have a family?
Yeah, but when she's under the
Splash
water-
Tube might tell us a lot more.
well,
Yeah.
I'll let you know in a year when I
Find
get through. But when she's under the water as a mermaid, like they have different parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
You know, so I
something
don't-
opens
I don't
and
know.
pops out.
Maybe
I
they-
don't
I
know.
remember there was a
Maybe,
great.
maybe they had the dark web earlier down there. I don't know.
There was a Family Guy episode where Lois got rescued by a mermaid and a mermaid man. And
Yeah. Oh, I remember that one.
his
Trying to
top
have
was
sex with her.
his top was the fish.
She knocks him over.
She's like, I thought it would be the other way.
She knocks him over because he's trying to have sex, like trying to touch her and stuff and everything.
It's like
and he just starts flying.
No one wants that kind of mermaid, man.
But here's the story that Dan had mentioned. For the racquetball scene, John Candy did it with very little sleep. Producer Brian Grazer revealed he stayed out with Jack Nicholson until 4 or 5 in the morning, and then he went right to work, revealing that Candy had a lot of endurance. He also revealed the night with Nicholson, I think he overdid it, so he literally ran into the ball that hit him in the head. That was real. We anticipated. We knew we'd have to shoot it into shots because the minute he hit that ball, hit him right in the head, he couldn't get out of the way of it.
I don't want
And
to
it
question.
said, he said, Producer Brian Grazer recalled witnessing John Candy drink 17 rum and cokes while meeting with the actor to determine if he could take the part in the movie. He stated, but he drank them like one after the next, and he lit up and was fun. Never got sloppy. He just kept going.
I had a double shot of bourbon before you guys got here, and I'm taking a nap after this. I can't imagine drinking 17 rum and cokes. I don't want to get into the whole biology of the mermaid and the legs and all that, but she never struggled to walk. It wasn't like she had to learn to walk, so maybe she's come out of the water a bunch of times to walk. But ice skating?
Yeah.
I was like, really? All of a sudden she's like
she was good.
NHL level ice skater?
I was waiting for her to do a triple axel or something, you know?
But also I was wondering, she had to get her legs dry in order to walk. But she was out of the water with him. So did she roll herself away from the shoreline so
when
that she could
first
dry
meets him
off?
in the beach?
I guess she just waited a while because he was knocked out.
Yeah.
I guess she was making sure he was alive, so she was
But
just
like,
hiding in the...
she gets him out. But how did she get out of the water if she's got her fin on?
Did she like flop up?
That's what I'm saying. She must have rolled her body away from the water and then laid in the sun till she was dry.
Can we talk about that boat that Tom Hanks was in?
Oh my God, that was so funny.
Fat Jack.
Fat Jack.
Oh, that was
I
a
looked
great
him.
boat.
If you look up on IMDb, his only 2 credits are this and like a Letterman appearance as himself. I don't know who he is.
Was it at the same time as this? Oh, well, Letterman, I guess, wouldn't have been out in 1984. I was just thinking maybe he was promoting this movie or something.
That's interesting. Do you know what he did on Letterman?
No, I couldn't find it, but I mean that's great. I'll be back with the little boat.
That's like one of Tom Hanks' biggest strengths as a young comedic actor was that kind of like
shout.
flabbergasted, like he did that in Big
he does it
Lot,
great in the
Bachelor
Burbs.
Party, in Burbs.
Yeah.
That was like a thing that he did all the time back then, and
He has that
was
great screen, Money Pit. Yeah.
Yeah, Money Pit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah.
This movie, he was like such a star in this movie. Like it was before because it was his
This
first
is
movie.
kind of like when he's going to
You
become
saw
a star.
there was
Yeah.
but then he went on and but then he did Bachelor Party.
Yep.
He did like all the other.
I
Like,
remember
Then he
being
became
very
Philadelphia.
disappointed when I've never seen Philadelphia, but I remember when that came out. I was like, Tom Hanks is gonna like
This guy again?
He's not. No, I was
No.
I was disappointed that he wasn't gonna be the funny guy anymore, and he really has not been since Philadelphia.
I would love him to come do like a just full on comedy.
Yeah,
The only comedy he's done is really like Saturday Night Live with like David
he's
S.
great
Pumpkins.
on
He's
that.
such a funny guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's been like funny in movies, but not comedies. Like Catch Me If You Can. Like he's, it's not a super serious movie. He's kind of fun in that, even though he's a straight laced guy. It's a funny movie, but I really wish that Tom Hanks would have stayed a comedic. And I know all these guys do it. They all want to grow. Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, they all end up becoming like dramatic actors.
That's like De Niro doing it later in life, like when he did like Little Meet the Parents or whatever.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah, but you can go back and forth.
That's what I'm saying.
I
He
wish
should.
he had come back.
Maybe he hasn't found the right role. I mean, I don't know.
I'm sure there's a role out there for him. Get on it, Ron Howard. Come on.
He never had him on Arrested Development, right? Tom Hanks never
I don't
did
think he was ever on that.
No,
He was
I
in
don't
the
think so.
Simpsons movie.
He was,
Yes, he
but as
was.
Tom Hanks.
As Tom
He
Hanks,
was just doing the PSA about the town not being there anymore or
It was
whatever
like,
it was.
if you see me out in public,
Don't talk to
leave me
me.
alone.
Well, I guess we should get to some scores. What do you think?
I'm down for some scores.
Oh, I just want to say, give
Oh,
one shout
yeah.
out
Oh,
to
no, please.
in the ice skating scene, the guy who tackles Alan when he's running out is Babalu Mandel.
Oh, okay. When he's like, those are rented skates or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's like it's not worth it.
Who's going first?
I can go.
All right.
Michelle gave this movie an 82.
82 from Michelle. Okay.
And like I said before, this movie becomes a great movie because of John Candy. I gave it an 85. I thought this
85
movie
for
was
80, okay.
so good. And if John Candy was not in it, it's probably not that good. It's probably like a 75.
John Candy and Eugene Levy were my favorites in this movie. I enjoyed this movie a lot. I haven't seen this movie in so long. I give it an 80. I really enjoyed this movie as well.
Good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I hadn't. I don't know when I saw it. The 90s maybe was the last time.
It's been forever
Watched
since
it
I've
a lot
seen
as a
this
kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gave it an 80. Tara gave it a 78. I liked it.
I'm going to wreck your curve here. I'm going to give it a higher score. I'm going to give it a 92.
Good job, man.
I just thought it was
Well,
a-
this is the movie you picked. Obviously, there's a reason why
I
you
just
picked
think it's
it.
just like such a well done movie. Like there's like that one scene where he gives her the music box as the gift,
Mm-hmm.
and then like
Oh,
it's
yeah,
doing, and it like just transitions to this like scene with the violinist. It's like just it's a beautiful movie. It was like this '80s movie, but it's not an '80s. Like it doesn't feel like an '80s movie. It's a
Definitely
classic.
doesn't feel 80s. I agree with you there.
I mean, a
Yeah.
little bit of the
Yeah. It was
soundtrack here and
today.
there, but it was like just like a classic movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why you guys keep saying 80s. My movie said this morning or something like that when
Yeah.
it started.
And they never came back to that. It was never this afternoon. It was
No.
never.
That was
next
weird.
day.
They were
You have-
trying to make it like timeless, so
Yeah.
when they said 20 years ago, it didn't say like 1964 or something like
We
that.
have a guest on and then they hate the movie. They like just shit on the movie. That would be funny if you
Well,
had like
Zach was kind of like that when he did. What movie did we do with Zach this year? Where he didn't. was it Firstborn?
No.
Firstborn.
He liked
None of us,
Firstborn.
none of us had seen Firstborn.
But he
so
wasn't in love. He gave it like a 70 or something like that. It wasn't like he
Yeah.
loved that movie. But
I think
he
he's,
chose that movie.
yeah.
But he didn't trash it though.
yeah, I think we all enjoyed
Yeah.
Firstborn. I would watch that again.
I mean, I could pick
Yeah.
movies that I will not enjoy, but
Well, would you like to come on for horror? We're going to be doing some horror. Do you like horror movies?
yeah, I have some holes in my horror history, but I will.
Take a look at the '84 horror. We got a bunch of them coming up soon.
Yeah.
So if you want to come on for one of them,
You have the Google Doc, right?
No.
I'll send it to
send
you.
it to them. Yeah. What's our next movie?
Well, I was going to say, now Paul wants to do the Muppets Take Manhattan next
Great movie.
Sunday. So I
But
don't know
we're
if we
gonna
want
do
to
one in between that, right? And that's who you
I picked
pick,
it.
yeah.
I picked.
What do you got?
Body Double.
Body Double.
With
Okay.
Brian De Palma, Melanie Griffith. Geez, I can't remember the guy.
Was
that's
it
the star
streaming?
of it. I did not even check if it was streaming. That was
I'll
probably
look
bad
real
on
quick.
me for not knowing that. But yeah, so we also have the Buckaroo Banzai one to post. So I'll post that one first.
It's on Netflix.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
Did you like Buckaroo Banzai? Did you ever see that?
I haven't seen it in so long.
We did it the other day.
Yeah,
None of us were big fans. So it doesn't stand up well.
Didn't hold up
No.
for us. Yeah.
Have you done Time Bandits, like those movies? Like
That's
We have
older.
not done
We need to go
Time
back and
Bandits
do that
yet.
because I would
That's
love
one of
to
my
do that.
all-time
Yeah.
favorite movies.
I mean,
love
I've seen
I love
that
that
more
movie.
recently, and I love that.
Yeah, I
so.
love Time Bandits. There's another old movie that we keep talking about wanting to do. What is it? Oh, Popeye, I guess, is one of those older
Popeye.
movies.
We just did recently Midnight Madness
Midnight
because I've been wanting to do that one. Michael J. Fox's first movie. Eddie Deazen's in that one too.
He's in it. Also,
The
1941.
patron saint of this this podcast, I think.
All right, so up next we got Body Double and then Muppets Take Manhattan coming up soon. So check us out on Spreaker, download, rate, subscribe, review. Dan, it was great having you on.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
We'll play poker in a couple weeks, right? You're in?
Give me the date.
May 10th
May
or
12th.
11th it was?
Yeah, May that weekend, whatever that
We're the exciting new podcast on all our socials. The Jazoo on Instagram, Jazoo74 on Twitter. This has been the exciting and new podcast. I'm Jason.
Agonzo1 on Twitter, Agonzo1970 on Instagram. I'm Andy.
Dana Caps on TikTok. Dana Caps 77 on Instagram. I'm Dana.
At Copy Dan on Twitter and TikTok. And I'm Dan. Thank you.
We made it with the music.